Hello, awakened beings. Welcome to this channel. Here I do reiki, energy work, meditations, but it's primarily tarot and oracle readings for insight and guidance. Okay, thank you for being here. This reading is going to be a guide to kind of help us with what we can expect for this upcoming Mercury retrograde. That's going to be November 9th through November 29th, 2025. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a few cards that can help us tune into some lessons or things that can help us during this Mercury retrograde. Okay, really quickly, if you're returning, I had to get my nails done. Okay, I was like, I cannot record another video without having my nails done, so that's what's taking a little bit. Here we are. Also, we've got some new bracelets. I'm back to making more jewelry, so be sure to check out the shop for what is available. And I will make a post on YouTube when these get posted. So this one is Mermaid Glow. Okay, there's that there. And then this one is Dark Femme. We got some obsidian and then like this nice red tint here. Alright, so got some new jewelry in the shop. Head over there, see what's going on. Let's get started. So, alright, so what are some things to know that will help us with this upcoming Mercury retrograde? What's going on? Just gonna pull 3 cards here. Okay, ooh. I'm gonna put those together. It's really interesting. Okay, hold on. So these are the ones that came out. And what's interesting, hold on, let me pull this up. Okay. That's better. Okay, so what's interesting is like Mercury retrograde is a period of time where you want to reflect on the past, revisit some ideas, make sure that you can, do any kind of tweaks, mending, getting closure, and just kind of tidying up almost before you go ahead and move forward. And so with the 6 of Swords coming out first and then the 9 of Cups, I definitely see that. But what's interesting is almost like it's more of a reflection of like where you come from. Okay, so with the 6 of Swords, there's murky waters, there's these rocks and all that, and this ship is moving away from the rocks, and then also there's more than one person on there. So I do feel like this has to do with relationships. It's a Swords card, but I do feel like you might be reflecting on relationships. Like you might be kind of weeding out your friend circles, or you might be kind of thinking about who you've been spending your time with, who you haven't been spending your time with, and kind of thinking about what relationships could use some mending. Think about if those relationships are giving to you or if they're not. I feel like there is a few days or just a moment. There's an area of time where you're reflecting on the people that helped you along your journey. So I definitely feel like even if you've ended relationships or moved away from people or something like that, I definitely feel like you're feeling more grateful. Like you're feeling more grateful about that experience and thinking about how it helped build you up, how it helped make you feel like maybe helped you recognize more self-worth or recognize that you needed to create more peace for yourself or choose more peace for yourself, and just kind of where your focus is. So I definitely feel like there's heavy gratitude here and appreciation almost. So I don't see you being all bitter. I don't see you being sad really. There might be a little bit of like grief, but it's really not. I just get a heavy sense of gratitude and appreciation for your journey. So you could be reflecting on things like that. Okay, what else is going on? Okay, we got another pair. Okay, so we got Ten of Swords, and then we've got the King of Pentacles. I definitely feel like Pentacles is the card of, well, money, career, but it could also have to do with health and healing of the body, as well as relationships. I am an intuitive reader though, so I definitely feel like this has to do mostly, well, actually, it has a lot to do with all of those things, but I feel like it's primarily money, career, and then a little bit of relationships weaving into that. Because I feel like, possibly if you were trying to date while building or making career decisions, that could have been a little bit of a distraction for you. And you're just trying to balance out, like, okay, how can I nurture my relationships, nurture my relationships, whether it's family, friends, coworkers, or whatever, but also stay focused on my career goals and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to build. So I definitely see some sort of adjustments with that, with the Ten of Swords coming up first. You could have also let a relationship go. It doesn't matter what kind. I'm not going to specify whether it's romantic unless I get heavy energy around that. But I just feel like there was some sort of relationship let go with the Ten of Swords, but it also opened the door for you to, it freed up more of your focus. Because like I said, it could have been a little bit of a distraction, or at least just occupied a lot of your mental space. And so with King of Pentacles, it just seems like you're a little bit more focused, dedicated, and to Pentacles, really. I definitely feel like, so we are in, as I'm recording this, we're in the energy of Scorpio, and like I said, we're also in the energy of Mercury retrograde, or tuning into that. And so with this King of Pentacles, I do definitely see somebody in solitude. So there's this energy of the Hermit coming through. And so I definitely feel like your focus is primarily on yourself during this time. Okay, what else? We got the Empress, and then we got Ace of Pentacles at the back of the deck. With the Empress, like I said, I definitely see there's some sort of awakening here. So there's a lot of realizations during this time. What else? There's a lot of realization, and there's a lot of restoring your energy, whatever way that does that for you. Usually restoring energy has to do with creative outlets, because that is the Cups energy, that is the sacral energy. And so with creative expression, that's how you nurture your passion, your emotions, and kind of get into spirit in that way, right? And so with the Empress coming through, I feel like there's self-care methods. So it could be, like I said, creative outlets, whatever that looks like for you. It could be that you're tuning into, gardens, flowering, herbs. You could be adding more herbs to your diet. So like whether it's like thyme, basil, like adding more seasonings. You could be doing aromatherapy, with just like using more essential oils, lotions, getting a new lotion, a scent, something like that. I just definitely feel like scents are empowering for you. You're just feeling like you're rejuvenating your energy, spicing it up with herbal tools. Okay, what else? Okay. I do also feel like, hold on. They were saying something about awakening or clarity. And so I feel like there's going to be a lot of clarity for you at nighttime. Because it's really dark. So I feel like, pay attention to your dreams. Yes, pay attention to your dreams. It would be a great idea to keep like a journal next to your bed. So like when you wake up if you're waking up in the morning or at strange hours, like, Sometimes people will just jump on their phone and start scrolling because, they're awake. What else would you do? But I definitely recommend during this time to have a pen and notebook next to you and to go to that instead of your phone. So if you wake up at a weird hour, you have a weird dream, something like that, go and just start writing, okay? Try to keep those thoughts together. Remember those things because they're going to be important for you. What else? Okay, that's what I've got. What else can we get? Okay, we got gratitude, which I told you guys I felt that with like the first two cards. Okay, we got transformation. Felt that with the Empress. Okay, what else? I definitely feel like you are leaving behind a version of yourself, and I get that with this and the Empress. I feel like you're leaving behind a version of yourself. Like there are certain habits or things that you just don't want to do anymore, and so you're giving that up. Okay, I don't know what that's looking like for you, but it's definitely like you're elevating. We also have the energy of Bastet here, of a cat. Okay, you might be dreaming of a cat, you might have a cat, you don't have to, but we definitely have feminine energy here, especially with the Empress. So I just definitely feel like things that are a little bit more toxic or disruptive, things that are just not conducive to what you want in life, you're starting to change your behavior to align with what you actually want. And so, if you want a nurturing relationship with great communication and blah 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 blah, then you're realizing that you actually have to let go of the things that aren't that. You know what I mean? And so yeah, you're letting go of things that aren't what you want, and it's empowering you. Because you're recognizing things that are underneath you. Also, a side message here, pay attention to what you're consuming, and that doesn't necessarily mean food. It's more about social media, music, things like that. Yeah, so, okay, just to kind of add to that, like, okay, I'm a gamer, and, I used to watch, like, people play games, and it's hard for me to find a channel to watch them play games because, like, the language they use, like, they could over cuss or just kind of be super trolly and stuff. Like, when I watch stuff like that, it's like a past version of me might have been entertained by that, but the version of me now, it feels like I'm losing brain cells. It feels like I'm dumbing down or something. And so this message here of the transformation and the Empress is very much like, pay attention to how you feel when you're listening to stuff, whether it's music, watching shows, or podcasts, whatever. Just pay attention to how you feel, because it could be something that's beneath you or that no longer resonates with the version of you that you're trying to become. Okay, so you are during this period of Mercury retrograde, you're becoming awake to these things, and able to release or identify and release things that aren't aligning on, when you start moving forward. Like after the period of Mercury retrograde, you're going to have more clarity of like, okay, this is who I am now, and this is what I want, this is where I'm going, right? And so, yeah, so definitely use this period to like weed out those things that feel like that you're losing brain cells, or that make you feel like, just pay attention to it, okay? It could be helpful to write those things down. So like if you're listening to something and it just feels like gross in your spirit, like I don't know how to describe it, but I would definitely just kind of pause, maybe put your hand on your chest or something, and just kind of just ask yourself, like, what feeling is coming up for me? And then, like, the first word in your thought, you might want to write that down, and then ask again, ask again. So then after you ask a few times and written it down, if it's the same feeling, then you know that your intuition, that you're tuned in. Okay. Ooh, that's a lot. But no, that was really important. Because there's definitely things that I try to watch that like my past self would watch, like Real Housewives and stuff. And it was entertaining to me before. It's kind of entertaining to me now, but just not in the same way, because they're just always trying to fight and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I cannot. My energy cannot with that no more. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, okay, we already pulled that card. Let's do this one. Okay. Oh, we got two. Okay. What else we got, Spirit? Banish a curse. Okay, that's what we've been talking about. Like getting rid of things that are more toxic, things that make you angry or make your energy just lower. Foods is another thing, because we also had King of Pentacles when we were talking about the body. And so it's like, okay, if you're eating something that is really heavy, and so you want to go to sleep afterwards, and so when there's like plenty of time and hours for you to get stuff done, but you just feel all sluggish and tired, definitely, maybe add more vegetables or just like juice, and let those things fill you up. Okay, so just kind of thinking about like what kind of foods feel heavy, what is hard to process in your body, because it could just be, condensing your energy down, and keeping it stuck and stagnant in the body. Okay, so that was a message. What else? Just people, relationships. Okay, what else? Okay, I think we covered it. Okay, we also got change. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You are changing. You are literally changing what you're putting into your body, and that's on multiple levels, where if you're dating a person, if you're talking to people, listening to stuff, watching stuff, all of that is consumption. Okay, so like this is really a strong period for you to think about everything that you are consuming. Like it's not going to be like this long list of stuff, unless you want to reflect in that way, sure. But I just feel like it's going to be little tidbits where you might be going about your day, and then you just kind of pause for a minute and then become aware of something. So definitely, I don't feel like you're going to be overwhelmed or bombarded with stuff. I definitely want to let you know that it doesn't seem like Spirit's just like change and just throw in a bunch of stuff at you. No, it just feels like you might be interacting or eating or talking to somebody, and then you just have this thought where it's just like, I don't want to be a part of this conversation. I don't feel good with this. Like, yeah, so you're definitely changing and coming into a new version of you. I also feel that with Eight of Pentacles, okay? I'm not, why do I always say Eight of Pentacles for this card? Ace, it's number one. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, we had the gratitude card, which we talked a little bit about earlier. So this, okay, there we go. Anyways, we have the gratitude card, and so this is definitely a period of time also for you to be grateful to, the relationships that you might not be in contact with often, but have been there for you or have been a part of your journey at some point. And so just kind of thinking of those people, and just kind of, if you haven't, talked to somebody in a while, they might be reaching out to you to be like, hey, I remember this time when you did this. It could even be a coworker or just somebody, I just feel like during this period, there might be people coming out of the woodworks like, hey, I remember when you did this for me. Thank you for that. And you'll be like, oh, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, you're welcome. I definitely feel that. And it could be vice versa, where you're feeling like, I haven't talked to so-and-so, and I just want to thank them for being a good friend, or, whatever. So I definitely feel like this is a time where you are valuing the relationships that are more stable or sturdy or secure, that have been transformative for you, that have been healing for you, just like, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of gratitude during this period. So definitely lean into that energy, because the energy of gratitude, to me, I feel like it's very similar to the frequency of love, which is an extremely high frequency. So as long as you're in love and gratitude, it is such a healing energy. And it can really clear out some dense emotions or stagnant emotions. So, yeah. Also, really quick, it might be helpful to do a heart chakra meditation. Yeah, I'm just feeling like, for those of you who are in your headspace a lot, that it could be a good period of time to focus a little bit more on heart chakra. So I often do this meditation where I just point to the middle of my chest, because you'll instinctively go to your heart chakra, and then just focus your attention on that point. And just as thoughts come up, you just acknowledge them, release them, but literally just for a few minutes focusing on the heart chakra, and that can kind of help tune in to that space, clear out the space, and kind of bring a little bit more empathy in, to help you connect with others or feel connected with others. So that's good. All right, what else? Companionship. Guys, what have we been talking about? When you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome this solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. Absolutely. This is beautiful. And look, the color of this card is pink. I don't know, that just sticks out to me, just for the frequency of love. So I definitely feel like, as you, hold on, let me get this Empress back up here, because she's so powerful. But as you tune into the frequency of the, I'll put that down. As you tune into the frequency of the Empress, and just kind of, evolving yourself, raising your self-worth, raising your standards, weeding things out that don't align, it just kind of, you're opening up space, okay, right? So, may I welcome the solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. So it just definitely feels like this time that you're taking for you, and what you're learning and what you're expressing, definitely is clearing out dense emotions, like I said, and opening up space for new relationships to come in and align with you as the person you are, like, becoming, right? So as you raise your frequency, as you raise your vibe, as you clear out, that allows people who are on that frequency to come in and resonate with that and align with you for this next part of your journey, okay? So, embrace your aloneness, allow yourself this time, don't rush it, and really just tune into whatever messages and feelings are coming up, because as you clear that out and face it head on, you're clearing out space and opening it up for better relationships, okay? And also Pentacles. So with the law of attraction, we are always attracting all of the time. And so when we're wondering why things don't come in, it's because we have barriers, beliefs, or stagnant energy that blocks or makes our desires come in so much slower. And so we're sitting here like, hey, where is this? I've desired this, I've been working towards this, it's not coming in. It's because there's a barrier of belief or stagnant frequency. So with this King of Pentacles, it definitely just kind of feels like, as you are clearing these things out, especially with the frequency of gratitude and love, because that really clears out toxic energy for real. It helps you forgive, it helps you get closure, and just kind of see the bigger picture, all that kind of thing, right? So once you kind of tune into this energy, if you're trying to manifest something, like, whatever your goals are in career, finance, whatever goals you have around your body, whatever goals you have around your stability, your home life, whatever, it just really feels like that is going to be so much more secure, because you're removing the barriers that have been in place for a while with that old version of you, you're removing those barriers by elevating and becoming a little bit more focused. More focused and open to receive, right? So how can we tell the universe that, hey, universe, I want this, I desire this, where is it at, if you're not ready or willing to receive it? So I definitely feel like this is so important. This period is so important for you because you're opening yourself up to receive. Okay, wow, that's beautiful. All right, let's do a final message here. Oh my God, this was such a good reading. Leave a comment if you feel comfortable, but I'd love to hear how this reading felt for you, because honestly, it just feels inspiring for me. Like, it can be a little daunting to be like, oh man, some healing work or things illuminated, could be a little daunting to face those things, but just knowing that it's really just for you, for your benefit, and to clear and open doors, like, that's what's exciting to me. So let's do one more message here, please. Ten of Swords. Yeah, it really is just kind of like, whatever is stagnant, dense, really just at the end of the road, release it. Like, this is really a lesson in releasing control, you guys. Yeah, I just feel like this is about releasing control. The important part about this card, I feel like, is it might look like this person is sinking, but you can see the light up to the top. So this is literally the card of when one door closes, another door opens. That's literally what it is. And it's very much like, we might, it's like a cycle of completion. I feel like a cycle of completion. So whether you learn something or just something you're done with, I just feel like it's complete, and so now you're able to start a new cycle. So it just kind of feels like this big old circle, but it's not a repetitive circle, because you're completing it. So it's really about choice, though, too. So like, if you choose to hang on and try to control the situation, then it just feels like you're going in the same circle. But once you realize that, oh wait, I need to do something different, I need to release this, choose a different path, then that cycle is complete, and then you start a new one. So yeah, that should make sense with those of you who that is for. Okay, so let's do an affirmation. I like to leave with these affirmation cards. Okay, we'll do this, and then we got this again. All right, so I'll leave you with these parting words. All right, companionship. When you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome this solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. Ashe. Take care.